Are you wondering where to live in Dallas, Texas? Well, you have landed on the right channel, Where to Live in Dallas, Texas, where we are going to be spilling the tea on the lifestyle and the homes in Big D. And this particular video, we're going to be talking about the downsides and the upsides to living in Dallas and the surrounding areas. So let's start with, by the way, stick around to the end and I'm going to tell you about a Texas jewel that is really special and I don't think you'll want to miss. Downside or con. All right, so many of the well-paying jobs are scattered throughout the Metroplex, Dallas, Fort Worth, suburbs, Plano, Frisco. And so it's not going to be, if you're moving to Dallas, we do refer to Dallas often. You know, people say, I'm from Dallas, I live in Dallas, and they may be referring to that they actually live in Plano or one of the suburbs. So a con is that the jobs are scattered throughout. It's no longer a small community and just Dallas. And in fact, like when I moved here in 2001, we were a population of about 2.5 million, and now we are, or at least 7.5 and growing. So that is a big down. Now a pro is that Dallas is a major industry hub. So that's one of the big draws to Dallas is the job. We have like 21 Fortune 500 companies. That includes AT&T, American Airlines, Texas Instruments, Southwest Airlines, ExxonMobil, and many others. Amazon warehouses are moving here all the time. We're a big distribution center. We're in the middle of the US, so people come from here and go across the US. It's a stopping point. Corporate headquarters for so many businesses. Those businesses are finding tax advantages, and Texas is business friendly. So we are, while we're scattered kind of throughout the whole Metroplex, it is definitely a lot of opportunity here for a lot of jobs, and a lot of people are relocating because of their jobs. So Dallas proper school system, not everybody, there's pockets. You've really got to research the schools. And a lot of people in Dallas proper, they are doing a charter school or a private school, and the homeschooling is growing in popularity, and there's a lot of co-ops for homeschooling. You've got to research the schools, especially Dallas ISD, but when you go out, Plano schools, that's where my girls went to school all the way through. We had fantastic teachers in Plano schools, and they had so many different programs and things they got to experience through Plano schools. And Frisco, Prosper, people are sometimes moving to those areas just for the school. So for your family, it can be great to go to those schools. And also in Dallas, Highland Park is really a high rated school, but that is a price point not everybody can get into. Plus those homes don't come up that often. So the schools are great. And we also have major universities. We have research facilities and universities. We've got Southern Methodist University that is down in University Park. And we have in the downtown, we've got University of North Texas Law School. We have University of Texas at Dallas. A lot of engineering students there. That has just grown so much in the last 20 years. And they had a lot of land to start with, and now it's really getting kind of used up because they add buildings and dorms and all kinds of things. So we have some really great universities, also some graduate schools. And then, you know, further out, there's another law school, A&M Law School in downtown Fort Worth. There's medical school, Southwestern Medical School, just outside of downtown Dallas. There's in Denton, several major universities like University of North Texas and Texas Wesleyan, so like Texas Women's. And so we definitely value experiences and education. The city motto for Dallas is big things happen here, and they really do. And that starts with, if you're moving in a week, a month, or even a year, go ahead and give us a call. We'd love to help you make that Texas transition successful and help you do it by finding the best fit for you for lifestyle and home. So go ahead and shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, or book a Zoom. Our information is in the description. It's also down below, pinned to the top of the chat. Having really great education for our kids and, you know, being a lifelong learner. And I think Dallas attracts and fosters a lot of lifetime learning. You know, we have such diversity here. You can interact with so many cultures, and there's always something new to learn. So the schools, the university kids activities are really great. But do your research, because you don't want to pick a place that is, then, you know, you get there and you realize that maybe wasn't the right school for your kids and what you're gonna do with them. Also, there's so much outside enrichment with youth sports. We have a lot of churches, VBSs. I mean, the amount of volunteer hours that goes into all the VBSs around the Metroplex every summer is tremendous. You know, you see some really great children's hospitals. We do love our kids, and our families are important. On the downside, property taxes can be very high in Texas. So when you're looking at the cost of a home, it is not just going to be the mortgage. Your mortgage is also going to be your taxes and your insurance, which insurance has also gone up because, especially like on the coastline, we've got floods and hurricanes that happen. We also up here have some hailstorms and need a new roof, although a new roof is much easier to replace than if you live in Houston and your house floods or your car floods out on a regular basis. So we have that advantage from Houston. I know you hear about tornadoes. Those don't really happen so frequently. You're not as likely to be in one, but they do happen, and you will get to learn about the tornado sirens. But the taxes here on property are higher, but on the upside, there is no state income taxes. And you will want to watch my video if you're a veteran about how Texas loves veterans, including with taxes. And there are some savings, especially if you're a veteran with disability. And if you're 100% disabled, there are no property taxes. So that is something that can get a little bit high. Think in terms of 1.9 to 2.5% of the value of your home every year is what you're going to be paying in taxes. You're going to have county taxes, city taxes, and ISD taxes, and sometimes there'll be some others, because we have in Texas what we call independent school districts. So you'll see all of that itemized on your tax bill, and you absolutely want to claim your homestead when you move here, and that gives you like $100,000 off the valuation right from the start. That's a big advantage, and that's something new that we have newly had passed for, to help with property taxes. There's some more legislation coming through to hopefully help even more. And as you become a senior citizen, you can lock in your taxes. There's some different things you can do, and you certainly want to. I have information for you that I can give you if you want to reach out to contact people that will protest your tax at no cost. They will take some of the savings if they do save you some money in doing taxes, and you'll want to protest every year, either on your own or through that kind of a help. So anyway, also in the taxes field, that's one reason if you're going to start your own business, you might want to think about Texas, because we do have a very high threshold for before you start paying franchise taxes. It used to be $1 million, and now it's doubled over that. I don't know if it's going to increase again, but it's significant. So the next con is that, I kind of say we have summer and not summer in Texas. Sometimes it feels like fall, and spring are a little bit shorter than I would like, but our winters usually aren't too bad. Sometimes we do get snow, or let me correct that, we get ice. And when we get ice, it is not good to be out on the road, because we do not have sand trucks or ice trucks, and we are not set up for it. It's very few days out of the year, and going out and driving, if you're not needed, don't have to drive, can just put yourself and a lot of other people at risk. So it's not recommended. So we do have a few days like that, quite a few years, but not every year. And it's just because especially the bridges will freeze, melt, freeze, and we have ice. So that's a problem. So, when you're looking at the outdoors, you want to take a water bottle with you. We get 2 really, really hot months like July and August. And some people just love that heat. I'm not one of them. I like to be in the air conditioning, which everything's air conditioned around here. Car is air conditioned, your house is air conditioned. But you learn how to do all that. And then a lot of people like to have pools. Pools are very popular here, because there's nothing better than after a long day, just coming home and jumping in the pool and refreshing, resetting to go about your evening. But on the positive side of all of that, because we have so many sunny days, we have so many great parks to go enjoy and outdoor sports. And it's not just for the kids. You know, you can play sports as an adult, be part of, I did the cheerleading in high school. So that was my thing and I loved it. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't like the, you know, things where you have to catch balls or throw balls and stuff like that. So that was not for me, not my expertise, but you will find that we have a lot of major sports teams you can go watch. Dallas Cowboys, Mavericks, the Dallas Stars. We have in Frisco, the soccer team in Frisco. And also we have every fall the State Fair of Texas, and that's a great outdoor event. We've got big techs and we fry all these weird things and then people eat all the fried things. I don't know. I don't eat it. I like to go for the pig races, but we do a lot outside. And if you're an outside person and you want to do that, there's a lot of walking trails, parks, and a lot of things to do. And we're getting better with bike riders. 20 years ago, when I'd see bike riders out, cars would honk, they didn't like it, but we're starting to do better. I think when we need to do better as a city to accommodate our bike riders. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you that my name is Janée Reeder, and I am an expert on the real estate in Dallas and surrounding areas. I've been involved in residential development from the ground up and selling homes and townhomes for over 20 years. And I've helped families like you move to Dallas. And like I said, I've watched it grow from 2.5 million to over 7.5 million. And there's been a lot of changes. And that also kind of trains my eye for, and my sense for where growth is going to continue to happen and how that's going to happen and the signs of that growth and where the really good places are to buy that you're going to see appreciation, and where I've seen things change and get better. And I think you'll see appreciation. Don't delay, call Janée, and my team and I will take care of you. You can reach out to us either I've pinned all the information at the top of the comments below or in the description. And you can call us or set up a Zoom or text us or email. We'd be happy to help you make a very successful Texas transition. We do still have, this is a big city, so we do still have crime. And while some of that crime is between people that know each other, there is certainly also random crime, and we certainly have homelessness, and we have issues of a big city for sure. So you want to use common sense and be aware. And I've not had things stolen, but I'm very diligent about, lock, take, and hiding things, locking them, not creating, and I know the police always told me, like, just close your garage door during the day, have a Ring camera, things like that. You can look deeper into the statistics in your neighborhood and see what the crime is. Unfortunately, sometimes no crime doesn't make the news, but there is something, then it does make the news. So a lot of the neighborhoods have neighborhood block watches, and neighborhoods kind of come together and, notice things, and we'll post about, like, hey, there was somebody in the neighborhood, or anybody see this person, or so, it is with the advent of Ring cameras and increased communication, I think that it's, some of the crimes that are happening then are being recorded. So, kind of at your own risk because you better assume you're being recorded and that there's a camera nearby. And we also have some really very, highly rated as very safe kind of neighborhoods. So next category, one of the things we don't have a lot of is public transportation. This is a city you want to have a car. Now, if you live downtown or uptown, there are some ways around without necessarily having a car and saving the cost of having to keep a car, and these days we have Uber, there's other alternatives. We do have the DART rail that does go certain places. It's soon going to be going from Plano to the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. And coming in the not so distant future, we're going to have a high-speed train that in 90 minutes, you can go from Dallas to Houston, whereas that's like a 4-hour drive. And that's going to make a difference in some of the commerce that's happening with Houston. And I have a lot of colleagues in Houston I talk with all the time, and I'm interested to see how that's going to change our field for real estate, how we're going to operate when we can get there in 90 minutes. But that was already one of the pros, is that we're getting that high speed train. Also, we're always working on the roads here, widening roads that need adding outer loops. Dallas started in one little area, and then a loop is created, another loop, and another loop. We're kind of like in the middle. You've got Loop 12, you've got 635, which is also called LBJ, for their president, Lyndon Baines Johnson. We have another loop of George Bush, which is George Bush Jr., also called 190. And then we've also got 121, we've got 380. There's a Collin County outer loop being built. So there's areas where the roads are really very established and not being worked on all the time. And then we have areas where there's a lot of road work going on. So if you buy in those areas, you may get a better price, but you're going to have to suffer through some of the road construction. And then when it's done, you're going to get a little bump in equity in your house, most likely. So that's kind of some of the tea on the transportation. But then we also have an international airport, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. And we have some very streamlined roads to get to those. And so you can be at the airport and on an airplane in some place else in the world with a direct flight in a pretty short amount of time, compared to a lot of cities where you've got to take a flight to another main hub. We are a main hub. And we also have Love Field Airport, which is home of Southwest Airlines. And that's a little bit smaller. You can't go as many places, but it's less, sometimes it's a little more efficient because it is smaller. In the suburbs, you're not going to have the nightlife. Now in downtown Dallas, you will have some nightlife, especially uptown. A lot of things stay up till 2 a.m. If that's what you like to do, is be up really late. I personally don't like to be up late, but my young daughters tell me that there are people that stay up late. But so evenings more center around family, going out to dinner, your church community, school activities, shopping. Those are kind of things we want to do. But on the upside, we have one of the largest art districts in downtown, and we have world-class food and cuisine, great Japanese, Thai food, Vietnamese food. It's not just Mexican food and Southern barbecue and country food. It's also, we don't have a ton of Italian, but we do have some Italian food. But we have just remarkable food from all over the world. We even have good seafood. And if you're a foodie, you won't be disappointed, especially if you're in downtown or uptown or living along Greenville or Plano. And Frisco is getting even more and more restaurants. So we have tons of restaurants. I think Plano might have the densest, or Addison has a lot, but those are some of the really great things. And last but not least, and this is my favorite because I love art. I geek out on anything arts and sculptures. And so when I'm going around the city, I'm always looking at the sculptures that are amazing and the artwork. And we have a lot to support that here. We have the Dallas Museum of Art, the Nasher Sculpture Center, the Windsor Opera House. You also can go to Deep Ellum and see live music. That's getting to be a little bit less, but there are places with live music up at UNT Denton. But jazz, it's world-class kind of jazz music. They have wonderful musicians in Denton. If you want to just scoot up 35 and go experience some of that, also in downtown Fort Worth, really great musicians. So we have a lot of music, a lot of art, a lot of great culture, and the food is amazing because we have such a diverse people living here. We've got, okay, I promised you I was going to tell you about a Texas jewel, and that is the SMU Meadows Museum. A lot of people don't know about it, but it is well, I think people know, but they don't go. It's a nice, quiet little museum. It has a great Spanish collection, and they do all kinds of special events. And that is someplace that I think, if you just want a quiet, special day, you've got some kinetic art outside of it. And you can even look around the SMU campus, which is beautiful. And so that's a Texas jewel that I think, you know, especially if you're an art lover, or you just like to see campuses, then check that one out. And remember, don't delay, call Janée.